Hello friends! Hello Sugars! First as always, how are you today? Oh my goodness, today has been crazy. This whole week has been crazy, but today has been particularly crazy. Whoops, I moved my microphone. Hopefully I sound a little bit better now. Yeah, yesterday was not a great day. I did not feel good, so I spent most of the day just vegging on the couch, watching some Disney Plus, taking care of myself, just putting fingerprints on my glasses now, because that's what I do. And so today was, catch-up day, essentially, trying to get through all the things, that I didn't get to do yesterday, and also all the things that I needed to do today. And it's Friday, so it's craft stream night over on Flutter's channel, so I have to have everything done in a certain amount of time. And also Ghost has D&D tonight, so I had to have dinner at a position where he can eat quickly when he gets home in case I'm still streaming. So basically, I put some chicken and rice soup in the crock pot today, and it's... Normally I do it in a certain order. I did it a completely different order today, and I've actually put the rice in much earlier than I usually do. But I basically just have to, in about an hour or so, go and turn it down to low, and then put in some oat milk, and it'll be done, and he can just eat whenever. So that's good. Also, for anyone who's been following the saga of me and my Apple cables, I ordered some new lightning chargers for my iPad because I had one that feels like it's 3 inches long. It's super short, and it wasn't long enough to use at my computer desk. So I ordered some new Apple cables, and they didn't show up. And I messaged Amazon, and I was like, no, that's not very long. Sugarose. That's not like 3 inches either. I'm talking about an Apple charger, not what you're talking about, Sugarose. You're talking about something entirely different. Anyway, it got to the point where it literally just said being redirected in the, my words, I know my words matter. Words are very important. That's like the whole point of what I do. But anyway, I messaged Amazon and I was like, what does this mean? And they were like, it means that the carrier lost the package. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean? Because they were like, well, you ordered it from a third party. And I was like, but I ordered it from a third party as fulfilled by Amazon. And they were like, yeah, we can't replace it. I can just refund you. And I was like, okay. But I didn't instantly go reorder it from the same person because it seemed silly. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, the package arrived. Along with another package for Ghost that has its own sad story associated with it. But my chargers are here, and they apparently work, so that's nice. I've got charging cables that are the right size again. So that's nice. That happened. Oh my gosh, Shiraz. I'm so glad that you're here to sass me today on a day when I really need to get efficient work done. Fun fact, you weren't first in the chat, just the first to talk. There you go, Shiraz. Someone beat you here. I'm assuming it was Halo. Hello, Halo Banshee. How are you? Oh my gosh. So that has been my whirlwind week. I was really not well yesterday, so I took the entire day off to care of myself. Barefoot Turtle, hello, and thank you for the hydrate. Here we go. So basically, for those of you who don't know, we don't have Hulu in Canada, so everything that's on Hulu in the United States is on Disney Plus Stars in Canada, which is nice because then we just subscribe to one thing and we get like all the stuff. And I guess on Hulu they did this mini series about Elizabeth Holmes and her company Theranos called The Dropout. So I watched that yesterday, and it was pretty bonkers, that whole story. And from what I can tell, just having looked very briefly on Wikipedia, they did not even cover like the full extent of the story in the miniseries, which blows my mind because it was already bonkers town. So that's how I spent my day yesterday. I was basically just watching that and being like, holy shit, why do people do things that they do? And for anyone who hasn't heard that story, I guess she was a Stanford dropout. She put together a company called Theranos that was supposed to be creating a miniature blood testing machine, but it was all lies. It was a lot of lies, and holy shit. Doing okay, and my hydrate job has been stolen. That's okay, Halo. You can always wait until I forget to drink for a while and then hit me with another one, because it's gonna happen. I get very, very focused. And I need to be very, very focused today because we gotta do 2 scenes and we gotta do it before crafting time. So, for anyone who is looking at the title for today's stream and is like, what does she mean? It's time to wrap up the intro arc. I feel like the way that this particular story is structured, that first 25% is kind of like an introduction to the main characters and their purpose. And I feel like after today, when we continue working on this story, we're going to be past that introductory phase. We're going to be on sort of the main quest part of the story. So today is going to be, the 2 scenes that we're writing today are a little bit transitionary. So transition scenes are my least favorite to write because they usually involve a lot of internal monologue, and they usually involve having to move characters from one place to another. So during the rough draft stage, I always struggle with transition scenes. And usually I have to put a lot of time into editing them so that they don't just feel like a summary between spaces. Now, I do have some things to have my characters talk about in these particular scenes, so hopefully it won't be too egregious. But they are kind of my less favorite things to deal with. But sometimes you have to have characters moving from place to place. And it's not necessarily that they're uninteresting scenes, because of course the whole point is to make them interesting. It's just that usually the things that happen on either side of a transitionary scene are, to me, more important or more exciting. Obviously, again, it's my job to make this scene as exciting as the scenes that come before and after it. But I have no idea. Usually when I sit down to write these scenes, because they're very sketchy in my head, I have no idea if it will flow easily or if this is going to be one of those pulling teeth days. So we'll see. I think we're on chapter 8, because we just finished chapter 7 and it was a solo scene. So we're going to write the 2 scenes of chapter 8. And basically, anyone who missed our session on Wednesday, basically Jalen, our shadow boy, caught up with Alethea in prison and was like, hey, I can bust you out if you take me with you. And it's also been made clear through Jalen's perspective that this is a setup, and he's trying to keep it from Alethea that she's sort of been a little bit set up by the Mage Council. He busts her out of jail, and instead of running into the jungle like an intelligent person, Alethea, our main character, the goddess avatar, runs into the Mage City and just starts setting everything on fire. So that was kind of where we left off on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we wrote a scene where Jalen was like, excuse me, are you crazy? We need to get the hell out of here. And he did finally basically impress upon Alethea that not only was she punishing the people who hurt her, but she was also punishing innocent people for something they had nothing to do with. And that finally got her to leave off, run away into the jungle, and that's kind of where we're going to pick up with those two characters. They are running through the jungle. It's the middle of the night. They have to find a place to hide. And then once they are sort of safely ensconced in some safe place, we'll have them have a little bit of conversation. We also on Wednesday, I don't see you, Exiled Fae, but hello, how are you? We also on Wednesday wrote a scene called The Ceremony of Ascension, where our other main character, Ciri, witnessed sort of the ultimate reward of her guild, her cult, the Watchers, which is one of her colleagues ascended to godhood, which, as we know from the planning stage, is actually bullshit. But so that is, we won't be doing any more with that this week, but that's gonna cause some problems next week. So I basically have two scenes that I want to write today. I want to do the first one from Aleth's perspective. And I want to do the second one from Jaelin's perspective, because as Aleth is sort of reaffirming this pilgrimage that she wants to undertake, Jaelin is sort of undertaking his own personal journey, his own personal pilgrimage, without really necessarily seeing the parallel in it. And so what I try to do when I have, like, I have my plan here, right, of what to do in each scene, the way I kind of choose which character to make the perspective character of that scene is based on who it's going to have the most impact on. So, like, having this conversation, having this first part of the conversation, and flight, I could really do it from any character's perspective. But the second scene, the one where Jaelin is sort of privately making this pledge to himself to get rid of this shadow being that is inside him, he can't really do that out loud because it's still a secret from Aleth, the fact that this is a thing. And I'm just realizing that there probably needs to be more peril of her finding out at some point in this story, but that'll be a future problem. So it makes more sense to have the second scene be done from Jaelin's perspective. So we'll do the first scene from Aleth's perspective to balance it out a little bit. I don't necessarily, some people try to have a pattern in their work so that people can always anticipate who the next perspective character is going to be. I don't worry about that too much. But I do try to balance it out. If I have three main characters, I do try to let those three main characters have equal screen time as narrator. And since Aleth is our main character, she might get slightly more time on camera narrating because she's the big one. So that's my afternoon spiel. That's my pre-writing spiel that I always go on. That's what we're doing today. I don't know if these are helpful or horribly boring, so please let me know if you guys even care what I'm writing about, or if you just want me to shut up and start. And I mean, really, you guys can be like, G Striker, just write some words. I won't mind. Let me make sure my formatting is good. Is it indenting that? No. Good. Alright. Also, guys, feel free to tell me how you are and what you're up to and how your week has been now that you've heard all about me and mine. I will say I'm quite glad it's Friday. It's just been a hell of a week, really. Peter! Thank you so much! 8 months of subscribing! Me too, I'm exhausted. I feel you. Celebrate good times. Come on, yes! Peter, celebrate. Novosaurus Rex, hello again! How are you? I had so much fun lurking in your stream this morning. I'm sorry that I got really quiet. I was trying to rebuild my blog buffer and there were some intense focus moments. Oh my goodness. goodness. It's Wednesday. It's always Wednesday to Peter. Don't worry about that. He's not trying to reverse the week. He's just stating a fact. It is in fact one of the better Wednesdays because it's the Wednesday before. I forget what Saturday Wednesday is, but I think it's Rest Wednesday. Let's call it Rest Wednesday because that sounds like, or Party Wednesday. Let's call it Party Wednesday. It's the day before Party Wednesday, so no worries there. Doing pretty good, just chilling and getting a few things done. Gotta travel early tomorrow. Oh no, good luck. I always hate travel days because I never sleep the night before. I can be totally like prepared and everything is in order and I just won't sleep because travel stresses me out. But I hope you sleep well and I hope you have a good, smooth travel. Saturday here already, Mindset Match. That's true. You're in the future. Long week working on report for work, but now preparing to do reading from my novel. Nice! Ooh, in a local writers group. Good luck. Rest Wednesday is good. It was previously the first the first weekend Wednesday, but now it's the first Rest Wednesday. Ah, that's true. Weekend Wednesday has a ring to it. But you know what? Oh, I just messed up my hair. I sleep great until I have something early morning and then I never sleep. I'm just like, really? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I'm okay, like, with regular, like, because I treat my writing as work, right? So I set a regular alarm at 8:30 every weekday morning, and it doesn't bug me. It's fine. But if I have to set an alarm for something else, like to meet with friends or to get on a plane or just for like a phone call or an appointment, suddenly my brain is like panic. You can't sleep because something is happening. It's not happening for another 6 hours, but you need to be aware of it and you need to be awake now. That's how my brain works. Oh my goodness. Mindset Match, how are you? What is up? Brains are weird, yo. Like, there are so many times, because I've been a lifelong insomniac, and honestly, I sleep way better now that I use earplugs and my weighted blanket. But there was a time where I would just lay in bed and my brain would be going a mile a minute, and I would just be like, listen, brain, there's literally no reason for us to be panicking right now. I talk to my brain like it's my pal in these moments, and I'm like, dude, just like, let's calm down. Let's breathe. Let's relax. And my brain is just like, no, you need to be creating a mental spreadsheet of everything that you have to do this month and also the grocery shopping. And have you thought of this plot hole? And I'm just like, oh my God, just stop. I also have anxiety, so I have to be a set amount early. I feel you, Novosaurus. Whenever we have to fly, we are always 2 hours early to the airport. Even when they don't recommend you being 2 hours early to the airport, we are always 2 hours early to the airport. Yeah, brains are just like, they're weird creatures. You know what logic is, and then your brain is like, but fuck logic, what about this thing? Oh man. All right. Let's do some words. I'd rather be early to the airport and sit and chill than be sprinting. Exactly. And it feels like they board earlier and earlier now. I know they told us when we flew last that they only board like 20 minutes early. But when you have a connecting flight too, it's like you can have like a 2-hour layover and it always feels like you're running from one plane to the other and they're like shutting the door as you get there. And it's like, okay, there's my 2-hour layover. Exiled Faye, I feel you. I hate airports. Airports are where planes live, and planes are my very best apart from trains. I do like travel on train. The trains in England are really nice, actually. Much better than the trains here. Yeah, we always try to plan for long layovers too, but it's like your initial flight somehow always ends up leaving late, but then you arrive early to your gate and the gate crew isn't there to open the gate, so you sit on the tarmac for 20 minutes. I need to stop because I'm just going to end up going on a rant about airlines. But like when we flew back this summer from our trip in Ontario, we ended up spending the night overnight at family's house in Calgary because we missed our flight. And it was the last flight of the day, and they had to bump us to the next morning, and it was awful. Yeah, let's do some words, shall we? No idea whether or not that will be as anxiety-inducing as the airports are, but let's find out. Oh yeah, I forgot to... Ooh, gotta let my friend Woof know. Gotta let my friend Woof know that I'm live, because I promised I would ping him, and I forgot! Also, just throwing this out there, I was trolling around on Twitter earlier this morning, and this afternoon, and I noticed that it is Bi Visibility Day, so shout out to all of our bi friends in the LGBTQ community. I see you, not just today, but every day, but I definitely see you today, and I'm sending my love. You're always welcome here, and we love you, and we always see you. Unless you don't want to be seen. If you want to be invisible, that's your choice, and we respect it. And I mean, like, literally invisible, like, bending the light around you. So, all my love today and every day always. Alright. Now, I did plan how I wanted the scene to start, so let's see how it goes. That's the wrong timer. 20 minutes. Let's see what we can get up to in 20 minutes. The word I want to use. Hey, Delazar. When the world goes to burn, we will drift with the ashes and rise with the embers. Ooh, is that from something you're working on? Happy Bi Visibility Day! I also like to create quotes, but mine are mostly about farts. I like to create quotes and just do general stuff. I've also recently been doing a D&D campaign. I would like your opinion on which thing I should have my players run into next. Sure. Throw it in the chat, Delazar, if you like. I probably won't answer until after the sprint because I'm trying to focus on words right now. But don't worry, I will see it. I didn't realize it was Bi Visibility Day either until I was on Twitter earlier. Twitter will always remind you of everything. It is, I believe it is today. According to Twitter, it's today, so. And even if it's not, happy Bi Visibility Day anyway. We love you. We love you every day of the week and every day of the month. I feel like as someone bi, I should know this, but I did not know until I came here. I mean, there are so many things on the calendar to keep track of, really. There is a crafting stream tonight with Flutter Peter. It will be at 7:30 PST, so about, I think, 4 hours from now. I don't know if Pans get our own day or if we just tag along. I was wondering about that, because I was going to talk about a bunch of my bi characters, and I'm like, but some of my characters are Pan, and I don't know if that's cheating to talk about them on the same day. I don't want to step on anybody's feet. I want to love everybody. Sandream, thank you so much for the follow. How are you? What are you up to today, Sandream? I can't believe it wasn't falling already. I mean, it's okay, Sandream. I feel like I often stream at the same time that you're streaming, or like right before you stream, so it makes sense that you're probably busy during the times when I stream. Just got off work. Nice! I hope it was a good day, and I hope you have a good weekend planned. Gotta flop out. Exiled Faye, thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry, I know this wasn't the original planned time for this stream, so I'm glad you were able to come by. And I haven't forgotten Delazar about your question. I'm gonna do it after the sprint. I was so excited to see you were still streaming. Yeah, this isn't a normal stream time for me, but I wasn't able to stream on Thursday, so I was like, hey, I'll just stream Friday afternoon, get the work in. And it's nice. I was such a potato yesterday. I just did not feel like I could function at all, so I'm really, really glad that I'm able to do this. And, like you said, sometimes it's nice to stream in odd times, because then I get to hang out with people I don't normally get to hang out with. Hey, Laurel, and hey, Neo. How are you guys? Whoops. Someday I'm gonna learn how to spell this boy's name, and it's gonna be the last book of the series, and then I'm not gonna have to need to spell it anymore. Woof! Hello! Very sick! Oh no, Neo! I hope you are taking care of yourself and resting, can barely drink, and can't talk. Oh no, Neo! I hope that you are joining us from bed in that case. Your key sounds make me want to rave, but my brain is such mush. Oh no! I mean, on the one hand, I'm glad it's really inspiring, but mush brain is not very conducive for rating. That was one of the reasons I didn't try to do anything yesterday. I just could not summon the will to care about anything, let alone think. I'm doing pretty good today. Yesterday was not great. Today is much better. Did some writing earlier, so I'm doing some world building and getting to know some new characters. Nice. Woof, how are you doing, my friend? And are you ready to craft tonight? Neo, no, stop working. If you can barely drink and you can't talk, you should not be working. Go to bed. Oh my god. I swear you come in here just to taunt me that you're working when you shouldn't be. Can't sleep, so working is fine. That's not true, Neo. Even just resting and relaxing is better than working when you're not feeling well. You need to give your body a chance to recover. Once I figure out what I'm crafting. Are you not working on the horn tonight, Wolf? The horn. We're basically gonna call that the sprint. 937 words, not bad for a scene that I would basically had only a rough sketch of. I need to see if I can find the same yarn I used last time. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean the same yarn as what you used last time? I'm confused. Delazar, let me know if you're still here. The options are the kid who they accidentally got gunned down in their first session coming back for revenge. What? The king of a nation who they thought they had more time to prep before they had to fight him, a mob boss who they also were fighting in their first session, or a winter forest spirit. All of those sound very cool. But I would go with the kid that they almost got gunned down. If they, like, almost accidentally got someone killed, 100%, like, rub it in. Rub it in, rub it in. Like, if you think of D&D as collective storytelling, that is a perfect opportunity to take a moment that the party didn't necessarily plan for and have it come back and be like, oh yeah, by the way, the choices that you make, good or bad, have consequences. And here's this poor kid who's just trying to stand up for himself in the wake of what happened. I'd 100%, I would not be able to resist that. But all those things sound cool. I can't stay doing nothing. Neo, sometimes you need to do nothing. That's how sickness, that's how getting better works. You need to stop doing stuff. Well, you're not starting the horn over, are you? Woof. Are you? Are you starting the horn over? What's happening with the horn? Please give us a horn update. What a weird thing to say. Val, hello! Nothing is the greatest thing to do, as most can do it well. Yeah, I mean, if you're sick, you gotta just turn everything off and let your body just fully put everything towards getting better. I did it yesterday. It was not a fun day, but I did it, and now I'm here, and I feel like a person, yo. That's my spiel. Rest and feel like a person. For me, the best thing is whenever I'm not feeling well, like yesterday where I just have like a day where I'm basically curled up on the couch under a blanket watching Disney Plus. The best feeling for me after that is always being able to take a shower again and like actually feel clean and actually feel like that's what makes me most feel like a person whenever I get sick and I need to like sleep a lot, and because you end up sweating it out when you're sick, right? So whenever I have one of those just like icky awful days, the best thing is always the next morning when I feel good enough to like crawl in the shower and just be like, okay, I'm clean, I'm a person. I'm learning about demon eating habits. Oh boy, that sounds fascinating. What did they eat? Whenever I don't feel good, I ignore it and live my life. Neo, I'm about to ban you so that you'll go sleep. Except you won't. You'll just go to another stream. A less chill stream. My goodness. You know, I used to think that too, that like I should just keep powering through whenever I was sick, but it's not good for you. I know I shouldn't even waste my words on Neo because he's not gonna listen, but to the rest of you, if you need to rest, rest. Also, Val, what are you up to? How's it going? Oh my goodness. What to do? I'm slightly worried this scene isn't gonna turn out as long as I want it to. But it doesn't have to be super long. I have to also remind myself that if not every scene is 2,000 words, it's okay. It's okay to sometimes have slightly shorter scenes. And I have to decide when... Maybe they should just have the conversation now. Doing well, getting set up for stream practice tonight? Nice! I have 2 band practices tomorrow. Well, good luck! I hope they go well, and I hope you get a break in between. Gotta rest them fingies. Oh my goodness. I have crafting tonight with Flutter over on Flutter Die's channel, which reminds me, I guess I should give her a shout out. To anyone who wants to come hang out with me, Flutter, and Woof doing crafting tonight. I'm still waiting for a horn update, Woof. That's happening tonight, and then tomorrow I will be doing Divorce Court with Ghost at the usual time, 7:30 PST PM, 7:30 PM PST, but until then, I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna put some Kahlua in my coffee tomorrow morning, and I'm just gonna not think about a couple things for a while, because oh boy. I woke up at 5 a.m., start working at 7 a.m., took a break at 5 p.m. What? Neo, what? You've already worked. You've already worked like an 8-hour day. Be done. Oh my goodness. Neo. I'm starting to think you're lying to me just because you know it'll make me cringe. I hope that you're lying to me. I hope that you're not working that much. This is my only answer to you, Neo. This is my only answer. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Gonna run yourself into the ground. You're not gonna be able to function. It's gonna get worse, not better. I don't like it. I don't like this idea that we have in society that you have to be working all the time, because you actually need time. We actually have a productivity limit. After 40 hours, I think it's after 40 or after 50 hours, you stop being able to be productive in that week until you have time to rest. You actually cannot be productive 24/7. It actually does not work, because you hit a point where it just keeps taking longer and longer and longer to get the work done. This is science, by the way. This is not me making this up. This is science. You can look this up. There's science that backs this and proves this. So the idea of working like a 60-hour work week, it's bullshit, because after a certain amount of time, you're just spinning your wheels. You're not actually getting more stuff done. So if you really want to finish, get some sleep and finish tomorrow. It'll take less time. Science is mostly our friend. Many demons apparently eat regular food, but only food they can taste, which tends to lead them having much smaller variety of food than humans. Interesting. Why can't they taste certain foods? I'm so curious. Okay. I'm trying to decide if we should take a break or if we should do another sprint. I think we should do another sprint before we take a break, because when I take a break, I'm going to have to finish dinner for the lovely Ghost Pepper, which will only take a minute. But I am going to black out my camera for a second, because I need to take one of these pills behind me, and for some weird reason, even though I don't mind eating on stream, I don't like taking pills on stream. So I'm still here. You can still hear my voice. Apparently I don't want you to see me popping pills. Even though you can hear it happening and know it's happening. For dinner tonight is chicken and rice soup. It is one of Ghost Pepper's favorite soups that I make in the crock pot. It's really easy. You just basically throw a bunch of stuff in the crock pot and let it cook all day. I feel like working is, to me, a way to avoid my dark side or dark thoughts. I mean, I get it, but if you're sick, why not, like, put on a TV show and let your brain just focus on that, instead of, like, the more you work yourself, the harder it's gonna be to get better. I love chicken and rice. Yes! Me too. And Ghost too. Ghost really likes it. So it's super easy. I just throw in the onions, carrots, broth, and chicken in the morning. And then usually I wait until like a half an hour before we're gonna eat and throw the rice in. But I put the rice in midway through this time, and I've actually already shredded the chicken as well. So it's basically done. I'm just giving it I'm giving it another hour on regular, on low, before I turn it to keep warm to make sure that the carrots and the onions are cooked. And then I will just put some, usually you would put like cream or milk in it, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I just put some oat milk in. I don't have a TV, but you have a computer and you have the internet. You're somehow on Twitch right now. I also put a little bit of corn in there. So. So yeah, let's do one more word sprint and we'll take an actual bio break after that. I don't know if I'll finish this scene. I keep going back and forth because my characters have to have a conversation about staying together or splitting up. And I keep going back and forth about whether or not they should have it now or have it later because they're kind of in a rest right now. They're stuck at a time period where they can't do anything and they have to wait for night to fall. So I think I might actually have them have the conversation now because they're already talking and it might flow better, and then I can end the scene with them leaving, essentially. Neo, you know what? I'm gonna do my work, and you do you. Because you're gonna do whatever you want, no matter what I say. But there are consequences in the 30s for not taking care of yourself in the 20s. Just letting you know. You will find out one day. And just remember that when future you is unhappy and in pain all the time. Sooner or later you hit a point where you don't get a choice. You have to start taking care of yourself because you have to. I have definitely hit that point in my life. I can't do what I used to do in my 20s anymore because my body will be like, nope, you're old. I was trying to combine two words in my head right there. It did not work out. The food steaming can taste depend on the individual. Interesting. Interesting. I hope you sleep, Neo. Thank you for the lurk. Flutter, how are you? Super looking forward to crafting with you tonight. had better days. Oh gosh. I'm sure you'll tell me more about it later, but I'm sending you love, my dear. I hope whatever it is. I did see, I assume it had something to do with the one message that you sent me right before I started streaming, and that's butts. Like, that is not the news that you want. So I hope you're able to get that sorted out. I love Flutter, every single human on the planet. I mean, Flutter is very lovable. But hey, at least there's crafting tonight, right? I am not typing efficiently today. That is... You got paints! Nice! So is paint gonna go on the first panel tonight? I'm super excited. I mean, I'm super excited either way, but it would be cool to see the paints go on. Mustang. That's okay. We got 6 more minutes left on this sprint, and then after a break we'll do another one. We've still got an entire scene after this one to write, so there's plenty left. Which did I? She is Fire and Force. Also, Mustang, how are you? What are you up to? Have you been writing today? I saw you were streaming earlier. Got another COVID vax shot today. Oh, I always have to not look when I get the needle. I hope you don't get too many symptoms. I've had a mix. I had one that hit me really hard, and the other ones I basically had no symptoms for, so I hope you get a light one. Streaming Dead by Daylight to get ready for spooky month. Nice! How did it go? Alright, break time! Posted my prompt thing because I'm insane. I saw lots of things launched yesterday for the channel, including plans to do Promptober, Fictober. Nice! Milja Jovovich is making me question everything about my fan fiction. Who's that? And who's that? And why are you giving them any power to have any control over you? Why? Where did I start? I think I started here. Or maybe it was, yeah, hang on. No, it was definitely here. Yes! 1,267. Nice! Quite a bit more than the first one. That brings us up to 2,116. I shouldn't have worried about the length of the scene at all. I think I have a tiny bit more because I think I actually want to... I'm in the wrong place. I think I actually want to have them teleport. I think I want to end this scene with the teleport, so I have a little bit more transition on the tail end of this, and then we'll switch over. So probably we'll switch over during the next sprint. She plays Lilu. Oh. It's a big thing I posted on the Writing Talk Discord. She has created a new standard for me not to cross in fanfic. Yeah, I know who Lilu. Lilu Dallas Multipass, I know. I just don't know why. What did she do? That is, hang on. I mean, first of all, I don't want to go too deeply into this, but if somebody has the license to create a movie, it's not really fan fiction. If they have the license, it's kind of canon. So there's a whole... I've had this argument with a lot of people before, right? Because people talk about how, like, all the Sherlock Holmes, like, movies and TV shows are fan fiction. But if you have the license to create canon content for a series, like for a franchise, it's kind of a bit different than just writing fan fiction. Fan fiction is sort of defined by people who don't have any access to that IP, borrowing that IP and using it to tell stories, which is fine, but there's a difference between people who, because part of the whole point of fan fiction is that it sort of exists outside of the canon sphere. It sort of exists outside of what we traditionally think of as IP law, which is fine. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fan fiction. But the standards to which a person holds themselves in fan fiction versus somebody who has actually, like, acquired the license to make a movie in a franchise, I wouldn't say that it would be fair to compare the two because they're different. Does that make sense? I mean, if she has the ability to create those movies, then she was allowed by the people who own that IP to do so. It's not necessarily the same as writing fan fiction on, like, for yourself, like, personally. At some point, whether or not Capcom said that her stuff isn't canon, they gave her the rights to the IP to make those movies. Otherwise, they would sue her. And she would be sued for making them. So, like, there's a whole big discussion to be had about big franchises and what they define as canon. We could talk about Star Wars canon until the cows come home, because there was a Star Wars canon, and then they wiped out the Star Wars canon, and then they created a new Star Wars canon. The point is, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what any other writer is doing. It should only matter what you're doing. And if you want to hold yourself to a higher standard than her, then hold yourself to a higher standard. But don't let somebody else's writing make you question your own writing. But also, again, like, she had the license to make those movies. If Capcom didn't want her to do it, they wouldn't have given her the, like... That's Capcom's can of worms. If they didn't want that to exist, they should have said no. And they didn't. And that's their problem. That's not your problem. Hey, Squanchy. I thought fanfiction is just about shipping people. I mean... It's not just about shipping people, but it is a lot about shipping people. It's not like the sole purpose of fan fiction, but it is where the ships live, and I'm not sad about it. Oh my goodness. I actually have only skimmed over this because I know basically nothing about Resident Evil. I'm not a fan of Resident Evil. I think the games are, and cover your ears if you love them, Mustang, because this is not meant to be a hit at you, but I think they're kind of ridiculous. So to me, all of it is kind of overblown, and her doing something overblown in the movies, to me, it's all just the same thing. So I'm maybe not the best person to talk to about this sort of thing. But I will say this goes to anyone, whether you're writing original fiction or fan fiction. There is danger in comparing yourself to other writers. You should not compare yourself to other writers. Compare yourself to yourself, compare your work to your work, and compare your standards to your standards. Because not every writer approaches work the same way, or writes the same way, or is following the same rules, and it's a very deep rabbit hole to compare yourself to other people, or to let what other people are doing affect you in your work. Can you make your... I mean... Here's the thing, Aspen, if you want to make your character walking Deus Ex Machina, you can do that. You shouldn't. You maybe should not do that. But there's no stopping someone from writing a bad story. Like, I have read many traditionally published, best-selling piles of garbage in my life. One of the reasons why I decided to go into self-publishing, I'm gonna have to take a break here in a second because I'm gonna have to run some ads, but one of the reasons why I decided to go into self-publishing was because I have read traditionally published books that were awful, that were steaming piles of poop, and someone gave like hundreds of thousands of dollars to that author for that steaming pile of poop. And I've watched movies that... An example to me is there was a movie, it was a while back, because it was before we moved into this house, there was a movie called Snowpiercer that had the guy who played Captain America in it, and I thought that movie was garbage. There were so many blaring plot holes in it that it was just trash. But, like, it won awards, and people raved about it. And I was like, why? That movie pisses me off. You can't stop people from writing bad stuff, but you can hold yourself to a standard higher than that. You can say, I'm not going to do that with my work because I don't think that that's good. I mean... that line can only be defined by you, and whether or not you've crossed it can only be decided. I mean, it can only be decided by you, but everyone who reads your work is going to have a different opinion. And here's the harsh reality. Not everyone who reads your stuff is going to like it. To some people, maybe they will think that your work crosses that line and they'll be unhappy with it. But if you're happy with your work, that's all that really matters. Writing is so subjective, and it's like, this is the kind of thing that we could talk about for 4 hours and not like reach a conclusion on. And it's one of those things where you as yourself have to decide what the standard is for your work. And if you think that you've upheld your own standard, that's it. That's the line. That's where the line is, and that's where you stay, essentially. TradPub seems to just keep going to who can make us the most money. Yup. That's literally, again, that's another reason why I decided to self-publish, because traditional publishers only care about bestsellers. And Capcom or whoever owns Resident Evil let those movies be made because they thought they would make money off of them. And they made money off of them. Or they didn't, but they made enough money to keep making them. I hold myself to the standard of, am I happy with this and are the characters happy with it? Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, and this is not comforting, at the end of the day, you can only decide to be if you are happy with your work. And if somebody comes at you and is like, this is garbage, have enough confidence in your own work that you believe that you didn't write garbage. Like I said, I could name many, many things that to me are garbage, and other people love them. Thor Ragnarok. I hated that movie. Everybody raved about it being the best in the trilogy, and I have a laundry list of problems with it. I thought it was poo-poo. Confidence in my own work? I know, it's hard. I'm not saying the reassuring things right now. But I guess the main point, Mustang, is like, if you think you crossed a line in your work and you want to go back and change it and make your work better, that's your decision. But if you don't think you crossed that line, if you can justify to yourself why you wrote the things you wrote, then leave it. Like, it's your work. And I mean, I definitely believe that I definitely believe in a standard of storytelling, and I can name off the top of my head tons of things that have made millions of dollars that I don't think match my standard of storytelling. But it matches for other people. And that's another important thing, is sometimes just realizing when a story isn't for us. Like, I don't go into every Marvel movie expecting to really enjoy the movies. I go to them because my husband likes them and I'm spending time with him and I'm having fun with him. And to me, they're just mindless popcorn movies, and I go in and I'm like, yeah. And if one of them entertains me, like fucking the new Spider-Man movie, you guys, I bawled in that movie. I went in that movie and I was like, yeah, whatever, all the Spider-Mans, and I came out of it in tears. It was amazing. So, you know, knowing when something's not for you, knowing when something doesn't like match your standard of like what you would consider good, like, you can just choose not to consume those stories as well, because they aren't your cup of tea, and that's fine too. Can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. You can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. He's amazing. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, and I don't even know if I actually answered what your actual original question was, Mustang, because I only read the first half of the thing. I only got as far as like the third paragraph. I'm sorry. I mean, it's probably the kind of question that my opinion and your opinion might not even be the same, and so I might not even really be able to answer your question. Or might not even have a right to answer the question, because it might be the kind of thing that you have to answer for yourself. But I hope that we entered into a constructive conversation about writing in general. I think that having a standard that you hold yourself to personally is important. I definitely don't release anything that I do not feel is up to my quality standards, or if I have in the past released something that I felt didn't match my quality standards, I've gone back and fixed it. I definitely believe certain things, certain principles about telling a good story, and I always try to make sure that I uphold those principles when I tell a story, but there's no way to force another person to have the same opinion as me. I don't think it's damaging to have a standard to hold your fiction to, but you will drive yourself insane if you try to get other people to agree with you. Like, even if all of us right now in this chat who are awesome and hang out with each other all the time, if we all made a list of what we felt were the most important things in storytelling, many of us would probably disagree. um, and it just comes down to it being subjective, you know? Although I think we can all agree that Jeff Goldblum is amazing. Possibly. We can possibly all agree on that. I'm gonna stop rambling and take a quick break because I need to use the ladies' room and I need to finish the soup so that Ghost can eat it when he gets home. And then we'll come back and we'll finish this scene and we'll start, because I still have another whole scene to try and write by 6 o'clock, so I need to shut up and do the words. But first, there might be some ads that play while I'm gone. Now I want to go watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, go for it. I'll BRB. I come back. A movie I don't particularly like in terms of entertainment, but has so many fundamental essentials executed well that I watch it as a thinking piece. Nice! Yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely, you can definitely learn things from stories you do like and from stories you don't like. Alright, Ghost is home and prepared. He can eat for D&D whenever he needs to. And us... Meanwhile, we're gonna run another sprint, and we're gonna see if we can finish up this scene and start the next scene. Which I think the next scene might actually be shorter than this scene, but we'll see. Like I said, we're sort of wrapping up the introduction here and sort of getting the characters to move towards their first actual, like, for reals quest. Oops. The timer started without me. Let's restart it. Let's do it for realsies. Hello! I am feeling much, much better. I feel like an actual human being today. How are you doing? How has work been? Are you finished with work for the week? Still at work for a couple hours and work tomorrow. Oh gosh, so do you work a non-standard week then? Do you have days off on like Monday, Sunday, Monday? This weekend I'm trying a new breakfast place. Gonna eat in the car. Nice! I hope it's yummy. Thank goodness I was hoping you'd feel better soon. Yes, I spent most of yesterday on the couch just trying to turn off my brain and recover a bit, and it worked quite well. Sunday, Monday, nice. Yeah, I worked a non-standard week for a while when I was doing office work. I had off on like Wednesday and Thursday instead of Saturday and Sunday, and it was weird, but it was kind of nice because you can get like your chores done in like that non-standard time when everyone else is at work. We gotta hydrate from Halo Banshee. And we got a stretch. Thank you, Halo, for taking care of the streamer. Appreciated. I think it's nice to have at least 1 weekday off since it's less busy. Exactly. Like if you if you actually go to the grocery store to get your grocery shopping done, unlike me, I just click and collect now. But if you actually like go into places, it's way easier if you can go like when everyone else is working. It makes things so much easier. Did I already have her be like, it would be nice to travel with someone? Hey, Ghost Pepper. How was your day? I have off Fridays and Sundays. Oh, interesting. A split weekend. It can be a little funky trying to plan hangouts, but it's not the worst. Nice. Got an early morning D&D game on Sunday, 7 a.m. Oh, wow. Then going to get breakfast at a new place. Nice! My wizard shall obliterate all who stand in his way as long as he doesn't get hit by a falling barrel. Just got home from after school D&D club. Nice. Lots of D&D for Ghost Pepper today. I play Burr, so it's a custom race. Oh, nice! Is that how you say it? Is it Burr or is it Bear and just spelled Burr? A Circle of the Stars Druid. Nice. Yeah, I would like to see more of a Circle of the Stars Druid because the one that Ghost played was pretty cool. You pronounced it right. Okay, good. I constantly worry that I'm saying names wrong, so... I was like, I assumed that it was like spoken as it was written, but then I was like, wait, maybe it's just a play on words. I tend to overthink these things. Alright, definitely a longer scene than I anticipated, but that's fine, that's fine. 2,835, that might be the longest scene in this so far. I don't remember. But now we're gonna have a chapter break, and we're gonna have another scene. Got the basic premise down for my new mystery? Nice! Glad to hear it, Laurel. I won't get very much in on this new scene in this sprint, but we'll give it a go. Coffee Quills, hello! Sure, if you want to share some details, Laurel, feel free. This is what I'm looking for. Did I say where it is? Currently. I very unhelpfully did not say what's around this area, so I guess we're making up those details. Break time! Where did we end the last time? I believe it was here. So in total, 1,092 words. Not bad since we crossed over scenes. And total so far today is 3,208. That's not bad for 3 sprints. I don't know if one more sprint will get us to the end of this one because I don't know how short a scene it's going to be. We're only 366 into this one, so it's hard to say. But I do know that most of like the meat of this particular scene is going to be introspective. Because the idea behind it is essentially each of the characters is making their own affirmation about what they're planning to do. I don't know why my voice is so growly right now. It's not like I haven't drunk plenty of water today. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's sort of a very formal way for the characters to begin the journey that they're on. I think it's interesting because part of the peril in this story is actually represented by Jaelin not necessarily representing himself fully to Alethea, and so what you would normally think of as like outside forces being on the heels of the main characters, of the heroes, and making them face challenges. The challenges are more from within the group, which is not something that I've done a ton in other works. So I'm really kind of interested to see how that'll go. I can already think of a dozen things that need to be fixed in this book. Even though we're only just about 25k in, and I still have at least 3 more weeks of writing before this is going to be finished. But I am happy with how it's going. I think it's coming. I think it's coming together, and I'm interested to get into because this represents the last portion of what I wrote in the original. I think I wrote as far as Alethea restarting the journey with Jaelin. I did it in much less words because I actually have an organized narrative plan for this one. But this represents the farthest that I got in concept of the other novel. So everything after today will be new. Will be completely new in concept, completely unconsidered for the last book, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hit the new territory. A young private detective named Kaz and his younger sister Rooney inherit a house from their grandparents in a town called Mirkwild after the grandparents' sudden but seemingly natural death. They soon learn that there's a strange rumor that goes back several generations about the property, and soon begin to suspect that their grandparents' death wasn't as natural as it first seemed. And with the help of their new neighbor, Rye, they begin to investigate both the deaths and the rumors. That sounds like a really cool setup for a mystery, Laurel. I'm very interested in that. Is that the one with the demons that you mentioned earlier? Ghosty Gale, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. How are you, and what are you up to today? We're just taking a quick break between sprints. I'm rambling a little bit about what I'm working on, which I have a bad tendency to do when I'm on stream writing. But just gonna get my bearings a little bit here before we start the next sprint, and we'll see how much more there is. I don't want to spend too much time on the traveling in this because traveling can be really boring to write, and I want to focus on sort of the introspective part, but we'll see. I don't want to skip totally past the traveling because this is a place where they do have to walk everywhere, so Working on outlining my nano novel. Nice! Also practicing illustrating, designing book covers. Oh, that's awesome, Ghosty Gale. That sounds so cool. Feel free to tell us a little about your nano project if you'd like. No pressure. No one has to say anything they don't want to, but we'd love to hear about it. So yeah. So yeah, I'm basically just trying to, in my brain spaces, decide how much of this I want to spend on travel. And I can always adjust it later. I can always, if the scene ends up super short, I can always fix it later. But I do feel like if it's around 1,500 words, it wouldn't be the worst. I want to just peek very quickly. Whoops. This is my old document that isn't very good, but I just want to see what I put in here before. First, I gotta make it a readable font. Alright, I'm actually already at the new territory. I actually didn't get this far in the other one. So actually at this point in this scene, we are in new territory now. We've not written this before. It's suddenly more stressful because it's all coming from my brain for the first time. It's the one with the demons. Nice! Gonna be interesting, especially with Rai being a demon and Rooney discovering new ways to work from her from birth abilities. Nice. And the general stranger. Yeah, Mirkwild sounds like a really interesting place. My main character is the daughter of the Chosen One, years after he saved the world. Following his funeral, her family is adrift and she finds herself caught in an arranged marriage with a foreign war chief that promises her untold adventures so long as she agrees to use her soul-based magic to break a curse that she seems to be caught at the very center of. Ooh, that sounds very interesting. Me likey. Okay. I'm trying to psych myself up for writing this. Sometimes you just overthink things a little bit and then you just spiral, so I'm trying not to think too hard. Let's see if we can do this in 20 more minutes. Because I do have to be done in time for crafting for sure. Is that Cedrine or Ceridwen? I would like the second. Or is it a hard C? Is it Caradwen? I like the second one. I'm more familiar with it, but they're both lovely. No problem. Always happy to offer an opinion. Names are the hardest thing for me, so I am totally cool with helping out with names. Suddenly, I'm really glad that we watched so much Time Team. Is it really a fantasy name if it isn't confusing to pronounce? I mean, good point. That's one of the things is I always come up with a name and I'm like, now I need to decide how you actually say it. Rooney has psychic healing elemental abilities. Raya is the daughter of Dantalion, and Kaz is an open-minded regular human just trying to get used to everything. Nice. I have the feeling this new project is going to be a wild one. I mean, hey, as long as it's fun, right? I should actually put the City of the Mages in there. Let me grab these names so that I spell them properly. Because I can't not spell my own names. I know not how. And Ashrantamar. I feel like I'm almost done, so I might just try to finish this off, but let's see. Where did we start this one? It was there. 1,110. Pretty happy with that. So that brings this entire scene to 1,476. I'm pretty much at the part where Jalen he has seen Elaith make her promise to undertake this journey, and he's kind of silently making his own promise to undertake his journey. And so I feel like I'm almost at the end of this scene, so I might not run another sprint. I might just wrap it up, but let's see. For something that I've basically mostly just pulled out of my brain during this stream, I'm pretty happy with this. My train of thought. Done. I'm happy with that. Just an extra 227 non-sprint words. That brings that scene to 1,703, which I think is fine. I can always expand it during edits if I need to. And that's pretty great. Let's see how many words chapter 8 ended up being. 4,445. I'm pretty happy with that. So in 2 weeks, we've done 25,595 words in this book. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. It feels pretty solid so far. I'm sure as soon as I sit down to start looking at edits, I will change my mind and think, oh my gosh, this is a disaster train wreck. But for now, I'm happy with it. I'm super happy with it. I know this was a little bit of a shorter stream because I started a bit late and I'm wrapping up around the usual time. But I gotta go feed my lovely husband Ghost Pepper and get ready for crafting tonight with Flutterdye and Woof. So once more, I will just give Flutter a quick shout out. If you want to hang out with me more later tonight, I won't be writing, but I will be crafting with my good friends Flutter and Woof. So check that out over on Flutterdye's channel. I'm super excited for that. I'm going to be working more on the Beauty and the Beast cross stitch that I've been doing. And I will also be back tomorrow evening with my lovely husband Ghost Pepper over on GH0 Pepper. I have no idea what we're going to play, but we'll play something on Saturday night while we hang out together. And then I'll be back next week with more writing. Hopefully we'll have a more normal schedule next week. It was just this week was health stuff, and if I'm always going to give people advice to rest and take care of themselves during health stuff, I got to do the same for me. So hopefully it will be a little easier to keep the schedule next week. And I might actually do 4 streams next week because I'm hoping to also do a writing prompt. We haven't done one in a while. The last one we did was the unapproved hedgehogs, and I think I'm actually going to write the second part of that on our next word prompt stream because I was enjoying it so much. I don't know if that's going to count as 17 of 22 stories in 2022 or if it's just going to be 16.5, but it's going to be fun. So we're going to do it. Flutter, I love you. I will talk to you in a little bit. Let's see who's on. Let me actually switch over to my computer sound again so I can hear who is on Twitch. And see who we can raid. I'm tempted. It might be Coffee Quills because I don't get to raid Coffee very often. I think I've gotten to raid Coffee like twice in the history of ever. So we might do that. But I am checking who all else we got in the rating sphere here. Whoops. So let's do. We've got a bunch of our friends that are playing Splatoon. I'm not really surprised. Val is doing music. We could. I do usually like to keep it with sprints, but we could pop over to the music stream if we want to do the music. Like I said, I'm tempted to raid Coffee just because Coffee and I almost never stream at the same time. So I love Coffee Quills. I direct people to Coffee Quills all the time, but I'm almost never streaming at the same time. So we almost never get to raid into Coffee. So we might do that. But I am definitely going to shout out our good friend Val. Check her out. She is doing some music, and I will probably go over and lurk on her stream a bit before crafting. We actually got to meet Val while we were in Ontario this past summer, and it was super cool. So go check her out, give her some love. Definitely worth the follow. She does a lot of gameplay as well, but the past few nights she's been doing a lot of music streams, playing her guitar, and she's super awesome, so go check her out. She was telling us earlier she has 2 band practices tomorrow, so that's sure to be interesting. And let's just cheekily head over and give Coffee some love. And for anyone who's listened to me ramble on about Game of Tomes recently, Coffee Quills is actually the head of the house that I'm in, House Maleska. So she is our fearless leader. She is the Cosmic Kraken. I've just lost my mind. There we go. I was like... I started to type shout out instead of the raid call because that's where my brain is now. My brain is mush. It's ready to not worry about writing anymore and start worrying about crafting. So, as I said, please give Val some love. Please give Coffee some love. Also, we shouted it out at the beginning of stream, but let's shout it out at the end. Happy Bi Visibility Day. I see you. I love you. Not just today, but every day. You're always welcome here. And you're always visible unless you want to bend the light around you and become invisible, because that's valid. Sometimes people just don't want to have to deal with other people. I love you all so, so much. Thank you for bearing with me this week. It was a rough week, but you guys have made it so awesome to be online and be writing. And I'm just, I'm so happy. I will see you all again next week. The schedule will probably stay the same as it has been, but I will post about it in the Discord. Take care, y'all.